Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. George Honora. I'm the CEO of the Foundation for Sustainable Community Development Initiative and publisher of our World Media magazine.
And I am Chinyere Obina-Onwuchekwa, and I'm the author of the book series Dictates of the Heart and special correspondent for our World Media, and we'll be moderating your news tonight. Welcome to Africa on the Right.
Africa on the Right. In Africa on the Right, we will be bringing you relevant, factual, and positive news about the African community within the United States and, of course, the diaspora and from our homeland.
Please join us every week as we bring you exciting things that make Africa so fantastic.
So, Ms. Onwuchekwa, just over last weekend, you participated in a great event in Minnesota about pageant, and we heard it was a very beautiful event. Can you just give us a little bit of talk, what went down there?
Thank you very much. The Miss Nigerian International Beauty Pageant is an organization that seeks to empower young ladies of Nigerian parentage by bringing them into the limelight through that pageant. The Miss Nigerian International Beauty Pageant is more than just being about beauty. It helps to bring out the young lady by making them stronger, brighter, and more powerful. It helps them to explore everything about themselves, helps them to think, to use their brain, to think outside of the usual format, and also make them want to help others. It was an amazing event.
That's wonderful. I wish I was there. So it makes it very appropriate to show a little bit of footage so that our audience can actually see what went on, and because we had this very beautiful, and the ladies were gorgeous, and a lot of things went on there, and it would be nice to see a footage from the event.
Thank you very much. Before we come to the footage, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the organization. The CEO of the organization, her name is Miss Vanessa Ekeke. She's also a former beauty queen, and she won a lot of different beauty pageants in Nigeria and also represented Nigeria on an international level. And she saw from being a beauty queen that it helped her to impact upon the lives of others. It put her on a platform where she could affect change in society. And as a result of all the positive impacts that it had on her life, she decided to give back by training other young ladies also to have the same experience and to empower them. So she came up with the idea of the Miss Nigerian International Beauty Pageant. The first maiden edition took place in October of last year, which was 2018, and it was a fabulous event. This year was even better. They really raised the bar on excellence. So we're going to show you a little bit of all the things that took place there.
It's really beautiful, the footage we've just seen. And I'm very curious, how did you get to become involved in this Miss Nigeria International Beauty Pageant?
Well, first of all, I came across the CEO of the event, Ms. Vanessa Ekeke, through my associates and other things, and she saw that I also had an eye for beauty. I have had experience in the past with modeling and beauty pageants, and as a result, I became involved in the pageants. I became one of the trainers and the coaches, and she really took out the time with these young ladies by coaching them, by showing them different things. Most beauty pageants, they just put the young ladies in there and let them sink or swim. But in her own case, she takes out the time. She gives them months and months of notice. She creates a group for them, and she shows them different pointers, how to walk, how to talk, how to build their interview skills. She teaches them all the different things that they need to help them to be at the front of that competition. as well as just, doing different things for them. She gives it the personal touch. She does their videos, their pictures, and all of that. She really taught herself how to do so many things so that she can make a difference in the lives of these young ladies. And the result is that they really shine because they, respond to all the nurturing from her.
So that is beautiful. So in actuality, what Mr. Keke was doing is actually trying to extend herself to help empower young ladies from the African diaspora, and that's really a beautiful thing. So do you guys plan on bringing this event to, say, New York City, the mecca of cultural, the mecca of culture all over the world?
Dr. George, that's a very wonderful idea. And like you said, Miss Vanessa, she has a special touch with this. She really is one of the best pageant organizers that I know of. And eventually, it's possible that the pageant will be brought to other states, especially the state of New York. But she lives in Minnesota, and that's her base. We'll find out if that could be possible.
Wow, that is great. That is great. Something, because the essence of this program, like we alluded to in the beginning, is to bring about factual, inspiring, and information about Africa. That's why it's called Africa on the Rise. So what do you think that needs to be done to kind of bring Africa to the forefront of things, showcasing her beautiful culture? As you know, Africa was the earliest cradle of civilization, and we need to do more to bring Africa, the good things about Africa, around, to be shown and to be seen by the world. What is your idea?
Actually, I'm so glad about this program because there's so much that Africa has to offer to the world. Africa is such a beautiful place. There are different parts of Africa that people don't know about. There's different sides of Africa. Most of the images that people see about Africa is usually very negative, unfortunately. But there's so many wonderful things about Africa. And that is why Miss Ekeke came up with this concept to showcase to the world what Africa can, do, the things that we are capable of. Also, as an author myself, I also wrote the book Dictates of the Heart. And the purpose of my writing the book, again, is to show the world all the beautiful things that come out of Africa. My book is a fiction novel, and it involves people that grew up in Nigeria, especially the country of Nigeria, and how they live. It highlights the good, the bad, all the sides of Africa, especially from the perspective of Nigeria, but it also is an eye-opener into the real beauty of Nigeria, the glamorous side, as well as it shows also the people that are suffering, but it's very realistic, and it shows the truth about Africa. Dictates of the Heart is available on Amazon.
Wow, that's wonderful. So if someone wants to lay hand on the book, they have to go to Amazon. And how much is this book sold for?
The book is only $15, and all you have to do is, when you go to Amazon.com, you type Nigerian novels, and it's the #1 ranking. It's the first one that pops up. Anything that pops up before that normally is sponsored. That means that they paid to have their book #1. But this is the first, the highest ranking Nigerian novel. It's also available on other Amazon marketplaces like Japan, Mexico, UK, Canada, Germany, wherever Amazon has their marketplace, is available there.
Yeah, wonderful. That's nice to know. And as you know, Africa on the Rise is not just about culture or aesthetics. It's about politics, it's about economy, because without a robust economy, a country or continent cannot really do well. So as we move on in this program, and first of all, I think I didn't mention that you are also the executive producer of Africa on the Rise. So you have a wide range of latitude to do different programs, especially since the purpose is to bring Africa to the forefront, to highlight the good things.
Yes.
So I would like conversation also that will pivot to government, politics, how things work, and how to build a better economy for the continent. And so this is a beginning. It's like I said that a Chinese saying, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. So this is what we have actually done today. We've taken one step towards other step that will lead to the realization of the ultimate goal of raising Africa to a higher plateau. So I don't know, what do you see as some of the challenges we have in Africa towards development?
Well, some of the challenges that we have in Africa has to do with ineptitude of some of our so-called leaders. Some of the leaders in Africa are extremely, I would say, very selfish, self-centered. They only think about themselves, like this is something, your favorite quote, which comes from John F. Kennedy, and it says, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. You said it. Yes. And that is something that seems to be lacking among the leadership of African nations. If the leaders of Africa, most nations in Africa, can think differently, can think along this line of thinking, is going to be a big bonus to the African nations, because once you can start focusing on what you can do for your country, then they will actually roll up their sleeves and start working, getting to work on things. But there's another aspect of Africa, and on today's show, we're talking about Nigeria. That is, something that I really want the world to know about, and I want the world to know about Nigeria. Even though our leaders are not doing what they're supposed to do, the people of Nigeria, they are raising the bar for excellence all over the world, whether they're in Nigeria or any other part of the world. Nigerians are doing such great things. So in later editions, we're going to be discussing all the different areas where Nigerians are raising the bar on excellence, in areas of music, in areas of culture, in areas of art, in areas of acting, in food, in so many different areas where they are raising the bar. So that is something that we look forward to discussing with our viewers in the future.
Wow, okay, great. I heard you mention music. So who is your favorite musician?
I have so many favorite musicians. As a matter of fact, right now, Nigerian music is just taking the whole airwaves by storm. Any store you go to, anywhere that you go to in the United States, they're playing Nigerian music. That was not the case a few years ago. People didn't know anything about Nigerian music. Now Afrobeat music is all over the place. And yes, Fela is the one that started it all. But they have all these different Nigerian musical actors, and they're doing so great. And their music is really amazing. So I look forward to our Africa on the Rise, when we can start to showcase some of these musicians.
Yes, wonderful. So Africa is already on the rise, and we are just trying to do whatever we can on a positive side to bring it to the next level. And I was just wondering, are there any advice you will give to young people growing up today, what they need to do to also think about Africa, because to build a good society, you not only need patriotism, you need people that are selfless, that don't just think about themselves, but think about the good of the continent, the good of their country. So what kind of advice will you give to young people growing up to help build a better African community, African society, whether it's here in the diaspora or back home?
Oh, well, they say that the children are the future. Children are, without children, we're not going anywhere. So the first thing is to focus on their education, because when you are well educated, it helps you to know what's going on around you, to be aware of what's going on in the world. So they should also be more involved. They can also organize themselves into different maybe forums where they can gather and find out all the things that's going on and be a part of the process. You know, when you become a part of the process, you make a difference. But it's one thing to complain about what is going on and not make any impact. It's another thing to try to be a part of the change. So it's important for them to get involved in the whole process, whether it's, you know, being you know, well educated, whether it's being a part of the political process. They need to get it more involved. That's my advice.
Oh, great, you know. So, yeah, what else haven't we touched on? I know your book, The Dictates of the Heart, is up there on the top of the chart in Amazon. And do you plan to write another book? I just wanted, for curiosity's sake. You know.
Thank you so much for that question, George. Actually, Dictates of the Heart is just the tip of the iceberg. That is book 1. It's part of a book series that highlights the life of this young girl called Adora Amadi, and book 2 is on the way. By the beginning of next year, the year 2020, I'll be releasing book 2. So watch out for book 2, and it's called A Three-Way Street Named Love.
Wow, nice, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, so what else? Africa on the Rise. When we look at the continent of Africa, you know, and especially the leadership, you hear about Mandela, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, and who else? Kwame Nkrumah.
Mm-hmm.
But of late, you know, the continent is short of, you know, a big name leader that is inspiring us to do more. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering, you know, what advice would you give to those that are on the forefront of leadership in Africa to help to, you know, do more, you know, because I think more desires to be done to go to where we need to do, you know, be at, you know. Yeah. So what kind of suggestion, advice can you think of?
Okay, the Bible says that my people perish for lack of vision. And the problem that we have right now is that we don't have leaders that have vision. The 3 names that you mentioned, one was Nelson Mandela, Kwame Nkrumah, as well as Nnamdi Azikiwe. Those were people that had vision. You know, they loved their people and they had a vision for their people, where they wanted to take their people. Right now, we don't have any leaders with vision. So that's what we need, people with vision. But again, anybody can rise up and become the next leader. And that's the problem that we're having, because people don't think that they can do it. They always look for the next person to do it. Any young person coming up today, it can be you. It can be you watching us today, that you can also be that person that can lead the people out of the problems that we're dealing with. So we should all put on our, you know, thinking cap and think about how we can improve our nations. Thank you.
Yeah, so, I mean, as we wind down on this program tonight, I know every last Monday of the month, we're going to bring another episode. Mm-hmm. It could be a panel discussion, it could be something about fashion, music, and so on. What else do you think that we can do to, I mean, especially for those of us living in the diaspora, to not only, because, you know, we suffer from this problem, we are living in a foreign country, very much apart from Africa, where we were born. You know, how do we maintain the balance, you know, being here and then also trying to maintain the cultural affiliation with Africa? Is there any challenges that you see?
First of all, we that live in the diaspora, we have to be more connected to our home nations. We have to be more connected to Africa. Our children, we need to bring them home. We need to link them up so that they can know where they're coming from. Because I'm afraid that the next generation of African children, that they will be lost in the diaspora because they have not been connected with the motherland. So I advise every African person in the diaspora to connect your children, take them home, tell them about the home land, the motherland, and actually bring them there and let them spend time there so that they can feel like they are part of it. Some of our children here, they feel like they are not a part of the African motherland because they were not, and you cannot blame them because children grow up with what they know. So if you raise them, telling them about their motherland, speaking the language to them, for instance, the Spanish people, they teach their children Spanish growing up and then they learn English in school. The same for the Chinese. This way they stay connected to their culture. But some of us, because we're so, maybe because we're so focused on education, we teach our children English and then they lose part of their culture. So it will be very nice, it will be very great if we can teach our children our language from the beginning, from the time they can speak, and they will always learn English when they go to school. This way they stay connected, and then make an effort to take them home, spend the holidays, spend the summer, leave them there for a little while with your relatives, so that when they come back here, they feel like that connection, and that's what keeps it going. And they can also contribute their own ideas to the dialogue on the future of our nations, yes. So
yeah, that's very inspiring and insightful. So I think we have basically covered all the bases.
Thank you.
Do you have any other thing to add?
Thank you very much. This is a multifaceted variety show that highlights everything about Africa. So please join us every week as we take you back to the motherland right here at Africa on the Rise. So thank you so very much for joining us. This is Africa on the Rise, and you can join us. You can join the conversation on social media, on Facebook at Africa on the Rise, also at Instagram, Africa
Twitter.
on the Rise, Twitter. Just join us as we do this. Thank you.
Thank you. My name again is Dr. George Honora. Africa on the Rise is here to stay every last Monday of the month at 11:30 a.m. You will get to see some of the highlights of the things we are discussing, very important content, conversation, and thank you for tuning in. As Miss Chinyere Obinna said, you find us on Africa on the Rise on Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook, and what else? LinkedIn. So yes. It's really a pleasure, and we thank you for watching, and see you next time.
Thank you very much. Africa on the Rise.